Tip number one, to instantly look more attractive, keep your chin up. So this is based off a 2011 study talking about facial attractiveness and evolution. Now, the most attractive facial angles they noted are when a man looks straight forward or when his chin is slightly up. What this does is signal strength, confidence, and a high dose of testosterone. The worst thing you can do is have your chin down. This signals that something could be wrong with you and definitely a low dose of testosterone. Added bonus, in pictures, you're going to look taller, your neck's going to look slimmer, you're going to look more confident. In today's video, gents, I'm laying out 10 scientifically proven ways to instantly be more attractive. Next on this list, gentlemen, show more skin, especially if you've got a nice body. And you don't have to go crazy here. You can simply roll up your sleeves, unbutton those front two buttons. So this is based off a study coming out of the University of California, Los Angeles back in 2007. They polled 300 women. They showed them various pictures of men showing different amounts of skin. Most of them found the guy shirtless as the most attractive, but showing a bit of skin did help even when they rolled up the sleeves. Now it's important to note the women attracted to a man showing more skin were interested in a short-term relationship. So if you're looking for a long-term relationship, keep your shirt on initially. The next tip for a man to be instantly more attractive, be mindful. So this research came out of Australia and they were studying men who were speed dating. And the men, before they went into the session, they had to rate how mindful they were. Basically, the questions were, are you good at finding words to describe your feelings? And do you know what's going on with your own body? Now, when they examined the data, the results were clear. Women found men who could better describe how they felt and were in tune with their own body much more attractive than the men that actually gave low marks in those areas. So guys, the research makes it really clear. If you're not mindful, if you don't understand what's going on with your own body, your attractiveness levels are headed down. And with that being said, gents, let me introduce you to Roman, the sponsor of today's video. Roman is a one-stop shop where licensed U.S. physicians can treat ED online. And if the doctor decides it would be safe and helpful, Roman will ship your treatment directly to your door. With Roman, there's no waiting rooms, no awkward face-to-face conversations, no uncomfortable trips to the pharmacy. You can handle everything discreetly online. All you have to do is visit GetRoman.com/RMRS, complete an online visit, chat with a doctor, and get genuine medication delivered to your door in a discreet, unmarked packaging with free 2-day shipping. And another thing I absolutely love, guys, is Roman takes care of you. You'll be able to reach out to a physician in the Roman network whenever you need ongoing care. And you can even work with a doctor over time and adjust your treatment plan for no added charge. Guys, for a free online visit, go to GetRoman.com/RMRS or click the link in the description box below. Again, that's GetRoman.com/RMRS for a free online visit. Next up, gents, smell good, look good. Now, I've talked about the power of fragrance, but most guys do not have a signature scent. In fact, 80% of American men do not wear fragrance on a regular basis. But here's the deal. We know we don't want to smell bad. In fact, a 2009 study in which they gave out deodorant, some of it was a placebo, other was actually true deodorant. What they found is when men did use the placebo, even if they thought it was real deodorant and they smelled, their confidence levels went down. This had a huge effect on their attractiveness. So we know smelling bad makes you less confident, makes you less attractive. But when you've got a signature scent, when you wear this, all of a sudden you feel better, you feel more confident. This is your liquid courage. Guys, your confidence is going to go up and your attractiveness levels will rise. Be proud, not happy. So this attractiveness tip is based off a 2011 study coming out of the University of British Columbia. And what they looked at were 4 facial expressions. So the 4 facial expressions were being proud, being shameful, being happy, or being neutral. And what's interesting is the one that ranked lowest was being happy. The one that ranked the highest was being proud. Right behind that, shame. So interestingly enough, if you want to come off as attractive, have a proud face or I guess a shameful face. The next tip to be more attractive, wear sunglasses. This is coming out of Nottingham Trent University, a 2014 study in which they found it was association. When we think of big shots, when we think of Hollywood celebrities, we think of sunglasses. In addition, it creates symmetry. Symmetry is found to be very attractive, and there's the whole mystery of not being able to see the eyes. So you want to be more attractive, wear sunglasses. Now, this next tip to be more attractive comes out of the University of California, San Diego, and I find this one really interesting, is that when when you want to be more attractive, put yourself in and around an attractive group of people. So what they found in this study, whenever they would show an individual by themselves, people would rate them on an attractiveness level. But when they put that same individual in and around attractive people who were considered to be much more attractive than them, their ratings actually shot up. The point here, gents, is don't go out alone and don't be afraid to go out with your great looking single friends, because guess what? Rising tides are going to lift all ships. The next tip to be instantly attractive, stop shaving for a couple days. What you're going for is stubble. So this is from a 2013 study coming out of the University of South Wales. Basically, they clearly note that women, when they're looking at attractiveness levels, basically picking up a sexual partner, the stubble, it just signals the bad boy. Something is masculine, something is strong about this guy. Now, some women are going to go for beards, some women are going to go for the clean shaven, but many women do find that stubble to be very sexy, very attractive. Now, this next tip to be more attractive is really interesting, especially if you are single, if you're out there dating, if you've got an online profile. So there's a 2010 study out of the University of Wales in which they take the same guy and they change the backdrop. One of the pictures, he's got a beautiful silver Bentley, and in the other, he's got a red Ford Fiesta. Well, they showed this to tons and tons of women, and what do you think happened? Of course, that Bentley, that guy right there got a lot more interest. Women rated him as a lot more attractive versus the guy next to the Ford Fiesta. And as many of you guys know, this doesn't just apply to cars. There was a 2014 study that changed the backdrop of the apartment, luxury apartment to basically a non-luxury apartment. The luxury apartment guy was found to be much more attractive. Status symbols are real, so pay attention to them. I'm not saying to be deceptive. I'm not saying to try to be someone that you're not, but I am saying, why shoot yourself in the foot? Be careful about what's in that background and pay attention to the status symbols that you wear and you use. Now, this next tip to be instantly more attractive is one of my favorites. It's based off a 2013 study coming out of the UK, a 2014 study coming out of China, and that is show kindness. Yes, the good guy can win. And they've clearly shown that if somebody shows kindness, women rate him as more attractive. How to do this? Guys, simply give somebody a compliment. Be someone that looks out for others. So be kind. It's actually attractive. Now, gents, if you like this video, you're going to absolutely love this video right here. I talk about which emojis to use to make yourself more attractive. Yes, you want to use emojis. The reveal in here is amazing. And guys, in this playlist, I go through a number of other videos talking about what to do when a woman looks at you, how to approach a woman, 3 steps there. And guys, even if you're married, go check out this playlist because I talk about ways to rekindle that relationship.